I would really like to know what drugs Capcom was on when they made Battle Circuit. The plot and the characters are really crazy. Anytime you can play as a plant, a literal mutated Venus flytrap, you know you're going to be in for a good time. This is one of the games that is on Capcom's Beat'em Up Bundle, and out of all of those games, this one is probably my favorite just because of how absurd everything is. It's just an amazing game. It looks very good. It's a really fun beat 'em up. I enjoyed everything about this. There are very, very few things that I could complain about. Like all of these beat 'em ups, the story is very simple. You're a group of mercenaries, or just whatever the hell you're supposed to be. You're tracking down some disk that can control all the computers in the world, and that's the way things go. First you fight Dr. Saturn. He's going to be this enemy that's just popping up throughout the game. He's also looking for the disk once he realizes that it exists. And then you are also fighting the Delete Gang. I don't even know how to really describe them. They're a gang of people who just want to control all the computers in the world. How this disc works is a complete mystery. It doesn't actually matter. You just need to find it. There are a lot of funny moments in this story. I just particularly enjoy, the reoccurring villain of Dr. Saturn. He's pretty hilarious, especially his weird little blob guy that follows him around as well. It's a very funny game, and it's just a lot of fun. This is like take 5, so I'm going to try to not laugh as I go through all of this. The gameplay is very enjoyable. This is a really absurd game where you can beat a bunch of bad guys up while playing as a giant plant, a mutated cat, or a little girl riding a pink ostrich. Don't take anything in this game seriously. It probably doesn't want you to take it seriously. It's just here to laugh at. It is awesome. I have no idea why I didn't play this one earlier. It is a lot of fun. There's also a few other things with this game as well. You can have like this little store at the end of each level where you can cash in all the money that you've acquired and try to buy new moves for your different characters. It's pretty fun. I like that idea. It's a great idea to do something like that. So there are 5 playable characters, and they all have names that are associated with colors. You have your generic good guy, and then you have things that just go crazy, as I've mentioned already. You have Cyber Blue. He's your generic good guy for all of these beat 'em ups. He's kind of boring. I don't really think he's all that interesting, especially when you have the rest of these characters. You've got Captain Silver, and he kind of acts like a Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, where he can like stretch his body around and do weird shit. Then you have Yellow Iris. She is a fashion model who also happens to be a cat, and she has a pet cat. She's actually my favorite out of all these, especially when I'm attempting to take this game more seriously. Then you have Pink Ostrich. It's a little girl riding a pink ostrich. As much as I find this to be amusing, I don't like this character that much. Then you have Alien Green, who is a mutated Venus flytrap. It's so awesome that I can play as this character. I played a lot of the game as Green, but I don't think it's really the best one just because of how slow it is. That's pretty much all the analysis I'm going to be able to give you on any of these characters, because I was kind of laughing too much while I was playing this. I did play much of the game as both Alien Green or as Yellow Iris. Those two were really my favorite. I thought the idea of fighting as a mutated Venus flytrap would be hilarious, and it was. Once I realized I sucked with that character, then I moved on to Yellow Iris, had a much better time with this game, and was playing a lot better than what I was earlier. So during the game, you collect a whole bunch of coins from the different enemies that you defeat, or from breaking objects. These can be used to buy power-ups and different moves at the end of each section. It's a really cool idea. I really like that. It's something different from a lot of the other beat-em-ups I've been playing. So Battle Circuit consists of, fewer stages than some of the beat-em-ups I've played. It's probably less than an hour long. I died a lot, and I was taking notes during this, so it took me about 50 minutes to get through it. You can probably get through it faster once, you've figured everything out. I didn't notice any weapons in the game, and that's probably just because I didn't see any or anything like that. There are plenty of health items and coins for you to pick up, but the weapons seem to be just not here for whatever reason. If I'm wrong, please go ahead and let me know. I have no issues with being wrong about something in these. I do like the gameplay quite a bit, but that's just because I like the genre. It's not any different from most beat 'em ups, aside from, not really having weapons in this and having a store. Those are really the only differences between Battle Circuit and, say, like King of Dragons or many of the other beat 'em ups that I've played. They've just swapped out a leveling system with this really interesting store mechanic at the end of each level. It's a very funny game, and I just really love how absurd the world that this game exists in is. It's a lot of fun to go through this, and I wish there was more of it. Battle Circuit looks pretty good. I don't think it looks as good as something like Warriors of Fate or King of Dragons or Knights of the Round, but it still looks really nice. The enemies look pretty good, the playable characters are very unique, the boss characters look awesome, but there's just something about it that doesn't quite click with me like some of the other games on the Beat'em Up Bundle. One cool thing about this is that the story plays out through these little cutscenes. They look pretty good, especially for the time that they were made, and they're not something that you would normally see in a beat 'em up. Usually you just get like a simple text box or something like that explains what's going on, and then the game just moves on to the next section. If you even got that, sometimes you don't. It's just like, okay, you won, now move on. So having a bit of a story playing out through the cutscenes was a really nice addition. The stages look good. I didn't like the vertical scrolling stages all that much. They are a nice change of pace, but it isn't anything amazing. It's really just, still moving in a straight line. They just have you hop on a platform and then you move on to the next platform and go from there. So the stages are very linear, but that's what you would expect from a beat 'em up made in the 1990s. I do love the playable characters in this game. I've already gushed about them enough, but they're just so different from the other beat 'em ups, and they look very freaking cool. I love that you have the standard good guy, then you've got all these other crazy characters, and they're just running around, taking on these contracts to beat people up. It's a really cool concept, and I love the way each of these characters look. To put it in a different way, this game looks like a collection of rejected ideas for other Capcom beat-em-ups. Like, they looked at all the things that they had laying on the cutting room floor and were like, let's put all of this into a game. Doesn't matter if it makes a whole lot of sense, it just needs to be hilarious, and we'll go from there. And they did a really good job with it. It looks ridiculous. It is really funny. It looks very good for something that came out in the 90s. It's just a lot of fun. I love the fact that everything works together in order to make this joke work. It is such a fun game to look at. It's an awesome game to play. And before I start going into my final thoughts here, we'll go to that now. So I won't, make this video longer than it has to be. Battle Circuit is a very funny beat 'em up. It's a lot of fun. The story is absurd. I kept laughing at it. I kept laughing while I was making this video. I love the main characters. Everything just felt so unique to this game. There really didn't feel like a whole lot of recycled things in this, like you might see in some of the other Capcom beat-em-ups. It's just a really fun game to go through and play. It's not very long, but it has some interesting things in it. Because I was playing this on the Capcom Beat'em Up Bundle, I had unlimited continues, so that helped an awful lot to get through this. It's just a lot more fun to play that way than, have to deal with this on the console where you only have a certain number of continues to get through everything. When I was doing some research on this game, I stumbled across Capcom's Arcade Stadium, and yeah, I was pretty excited to see what they had on there. So that was how I played Dynasty Wars, which should come out before this video. It was just a lot of fun to go out and play this. It's a great game. If you're tired of all the other Capcom beat 'em ups out there, or you just need something really freaking weird to play, this is a great option for you. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.